Last week, I installed a small security camera in my room. Nothing expensive, just a simple camera pointed at my bed and the door. I didn't install it because I was scared. At least, not at first. A few weeks ago, I started noticing small things in my house. Nothing dramatic, just strange details. Sometimes I would wake up and my bedroom door would be slightly open, even though I always close it before sleeping. Sometimes objects on my desk would be moved a few centimeters. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I moved things without remembering, but after it kept happening. I decided to buy a small security camera just to prove to myself that nothing weird was going on. The camera records all night and saves the footage on my phone. For the first few nights, nothing happened. The videos were boring. Just hours of me sleeping and occasionally moving under the blanket. So after a few days, I stopped checking the recordings. Until yesterday night. Yesterday evening, I randomly opened the app on my phone. I wasn't expecting to find anything, but the app showed a notification. Motion detected. 3:17 a.m. That was strange. I never move much while sleeping, so I opened the recording. The video started. Normally, the room was dark. You could see the small light from the street outside coming through the window. And there I was, sleeping in bed. Everything looked normal. Then, after a few seconds, something happened. The blanket moved, slowly, and I sat up. At first, I thought nothing of it. People sometimes wake up during the night. Maybe I went to drink water or use the bathroom. But then I noticed something strange. The way I moved looked wrong. It was slow, too slow, like someone copying human movement. The version of me in the video slowly turned its head toward the camera and stared directly into it. I don't remember doing that. I kept watching. The figure that looked like me slowly stood up from the bed, walked across the room, and stopped in front of the door. Then it just stood there, not moving, for almost 20 seconds. Just standing, facing the door. Then it reached for the handle, opened the door, and left the room. The video kept recording. Now the room was empty. I fast-forwarded the time. Footage. 5 minutes passed. Nothing happened. Then suddenly the door opened again, and I walked back inside. But something felt different this time. The way I walked looked unnatural. My posture looked strange. Almost like someone wearing a costume. I walked back to the bed and sat down, then slowly laid back under the blanket, and the video ended. I stared at my phone for a few seconds. Something about the footage made me uncomfortable, so I decided to check something. I opened my phone's sleep tracker. According to the data, I never woke up that night, not even for a minute. My sleep was continuous, from midnight to 8 in the morning, which means something didn't make sense. If I never woke up, who was the person walking around? My room at 3:17 a.m.? At that point, I tried to find a logical explanation. Maybe the sleep tracker was wrong. Maybe I sleepwalked. I had never sleepwalked in my life, but it was still possible. So I went back to the video and watched it again. This time, I paid attention to the details. That's when I noticed something disturbing. When the figure walked back into the room, it was smiling. Not a normal smile. It looked wide, almost stretched, like someone trying too hard to look human. I replayed the moment several times. The smile stayed the same, perfectly, still. Unnatural. I've never smiled like that in my life. That's when I started feeling uneasy. But the strangest part happened this morning. When I opened the camera app again, there was another recording, another motion detection. But the timestamp didn't make sense. The recording said it was from tonight at 3:17 a.m., but tonight hasn't happened yet. At first I thought it was just a bug, maybe the camera glitched, but curiosity got the best of me. So I opened the video. The footage looked exactly like the previous night. Same dark room, same faint light from the window, and there I was, sleeping in bed, For a moment, nothing happened. Then the bedroom door slowly opened. Very slowly, like someone pushing it carefully. But no one appeared in the doorway. The door just opened wider and wider. Then, something stepped into the room. At first, it was just a shadow. Then, the camera adjusted, and I could see the shape clearly. It looked exactly like me. Same height, same body, same clothes I usually wear to sleep. It slowly walked toward the bed, step by step, until it was standing right next to me, watching me sleep. Then it slowly turned its head and looked directly into the camera, and it smiled. The exact same smile from the other video. Wide, unnatural, frozen. The figure stayed there for a few seconds. Then the video ended. I checked the timestamp again. Tonight, 3:17 a.m., which means that recording is supposed to happen in a few hours. And right now I'm sitting in my room, looking at the door, trying to decide if I should sleep tonight. Because if the camera is somehow showing the future, then in a few hours, something that looks exactly like me is going to walk into this room and watch me sleep.